Hello again guys, hope we're all well. Today I'm in Hertfordshire. I'm doing another little country walking magazine cutout walk, and this one is from the village of Lily, and we're outside the Lily Arms pub in the village itself near the church. It's an 11.25 mile walk. It's going to take us about 6 hours and it's graded as challenging, so I'm also planning to do a bar camp tonight up on Deacon Hill, which is one of the highest points on the walk. We're also going to be seeing the remains of a Motte and Bailey castle at Purton, so that should be interesting. There's going to be a section of the Igneel Way long distance route, and yeah, other little bits and pieces of history dotted along the way. And I'm also joined by Owen from Albion Camping again.
Hey everyone.
And yeah, so this should be interesting. He's got his big Bergen. See how he gets on with it. So although I can't talk because mine's a little bit heavy, because I started off with sort of fairly light and then just went fuck it and added some more stuff, as you always do, and it's feeling a little bit heavy right now. But I've got my Osprey Stratos 24. I've got my Gillette Solo one-man tent in there. I opted for that. And yeah, I've got the Thermo SE light strapped to the back of it. I believe we're heading that way down towards the church, so yeah, enough talking, let's get walking. So yeah, we're inside the parish church now at Lily. There's the font. It's quite a big church actually inside. That's a bit different. There's sort of some steps going up to sort of like a separate chapel. And then look at this ceiling. That's pretty cool. It's a little bit different. Wow. So go and have a look in there next. Sort of like this glazed tile floor. Got a separate altar. Nice stained glass windows. Yeah, and it overlooks sort of the main altar and the organ. That ceiling is amazing though, really different than you've got your usual sort of beamed scene that you see in a lot of churches. Heading back down. For once there's actually a steep climb on one of my walks, and who says this area's flat? We're nearly at the top. This is killing us. I mean, you're alright, I should be breezing up this with my profession, but I'm ashamed to say I'm struggling. This is not good. I have to knock them siders on the head. Never! We're not quite at Purton yet. In fact, we're only just a little bit down the road from where I last filmed, but we've come out to this Jewish settlement, hence the writing, which I can't read. And there's another one there as well. I'm not going to go too far in here, but yeah, that's something you don't see every day. A whole Jewish settlement That's pretty cool. And yeah, I won't walk all the way around there because it's probably, that probably says like private property or something. And I don't know if that's Hebrew or could be Hebrew, or I've no idea anyway. So if anyone does know, get in the comments and let us know. But yeah, something a bit different. You don't see one of them every day on your walks. We're still going that way though. So we're going to head down the other side of this hill and we can see Purton village in the distance and the church itself as well. And also of course there's the remains of the Motte and Bailey Castle there. Can't really see anything just yet. Once we get over sort of the other side of this hill, then yeah, we'll probably see some better views of it. I think there's an old house over here called Highdown House, and it's represented on the map as sort of the old style writing, so it's obviously fairly old, probably a listed building. Lots of sheep at the moment and sheep shit, and yeah, this the landscape's been quite interesting actually on this one. Sort of a lot of rolling hills and country, sort of countryside. It's not really that flat. We've had a few steep sections to climb. The weather as well has been better than we thought it would be. 10% chance of rain apparently, and I thought it was going to be mostly cloudy, but it's actually been really hot and quite sunny out. So yeah, we're looking forward to the pub at Purton, which I believe is also called the Motte and Bailey. Okay guys, we've just entered Purton. Ahead of us is the church, and this big open field here is what we believe is all that remains of the Motte and Bailey Castle at Purton. And it says we're crossing over the moat. You might just be able to see a bit of a sort of a shallow sort of trench, and yeah, a bit like in Time Team, you know, when they go, this is what it would have looked like. You've got to use your imagination. So, but that's of course the thing with a lot of history and archaeology, you have to use your imagination because there's not always a lot of it left, but still you can see there was something here anyway, with sort of the way the ground is, lots of like lumps and bumps and dips and mounds and stuff. So, and the fact that they've not built on it kind of sort of says something really. You think, well, it's got to be a site of a historical interest. So we can see sort of some other dips a bit more substantial over here. It's about 5 o'clock in the evening now. We sort of stopped and had a bit of a longer break than intended, but we're gonna hopefully have a look in the church if it's still open, which is ahead of us. You can just see the tower, and stop in a pub of course, and then we're on our way to Deacon Hill, where hopefully we're going to get to before it gets dark, to Wild Camp. And yeah, look, you can see sort of these big mounds here and stuff, so that could well have been like the inner bit, the motte, and what we've just walked through would be like the Bailey, so where like the outer buildings. Yeah, we reckon it's probably this bit here. Might just be able to see. Okay, yeah, we found this big mound here, and this would have been the actual keep here. You probably can't see it in the light here. So it says Purton Motte and Bailey Castle, Great Bury, built in 1139. The long straight ditch-like feature to the south of the Motte and Bailey earthworks, linking Walnut Tree Road with Bury End, is in fact the line of a medieval road or holloway. This road was in use in the 19th century when it was known as Lads Orchard Lane. I read about that earlier. It said like a disused lane, so we might well see that. That could be quite cool. To the south of this sunken road and fronting onto it are the extensive earthworks indicating the former presence of houses, outbuildings and property boundaries. These are very regular in plan and they respect the castle earthworks. It is probable that the castle and this part of the village were planned and constructed at the same time in the 12th century. The earthworks, together with the evidence of old maps, show that this part of the village has been abandoned in recent centuries. To the south of Walnut Tree Farm are ridge and furrow fields, which were part of the open field system of farming. The earthworks in Great Bury are an archaeological monument protected by law. Oh, okay, it's going on about criminal offences to dig holes and stuff there, which is kind of obvious. That's an imaginary reconstruction of the Norman Motte and Bailey Castle circa 1139. You probably just get my reflection in the glass. So yeah, castle would have been there. The Knights Hall, the West Bailey, St Mary's Church. So that's probably this church behind us. Of course, it's not the church now. It would have probably just been a basic little thatched roof sort of small building like in the picture. The East Bailey, Lads Orchard Lane. So hang on, Owen, where are you? Oh, he's gone up the thing anyway. I actually think the sort of the dips and stuff that were over there, we couldn't work out what they were. I think that might have actually been Lads Orchard Lane, a disused like road, and then it sort of shows the surrounding countryside as well, like Walnut Tree Road. Lads Orchard Lane would have carried on through there. And oh no, sorry, there's a bigger church here as well. This the Motte and Bailey Castle's here. Sorry, right, I'm getting confused. Right, so this is this mound here, and then there's the church there. Sorry, so this is oh no, sorry, this is afterwards. Right, I'm getting confused by this. So that's the old design. This is the newer design. This was the decline of Purton. King Henry II ordered over 300 unlicensed castles to be dismantled in about 1300 AD. So yeah, that's what it would have looked like, sorry. So the castle's dismantled, looked like a simple sort of wooden structure and palisades. And then yeah, you've got the church would have been bigger there. Sorry, right. We got there in the end, yeah. And then there's the interpretation of the Knights Hall. And then there's also at the top there, an illustration of a Norman undershot water mill. It's recorded in the Domesday Book that Purton had 4 water mills. That's pretty cool, quite a bit of history here then. There's a little map of sort of like surrounding sort of towns and villages and stuff. Like Baldock was a medieval village, and that is basically the name was sort of, they sort of named after, it was like a bastardisation of Baghdad, believe it or not. Read that in a book this morning. You've got Letchworth, which is another sort of medieval sort of town, like Hexton, Hitchin, of course, probably a word of Hitchin, and then Lily, where we've come from. Purton is there, where we are. Owen says he's just been up to the mound there. There's some steps going up there. He says it's not really a lot, it's just some nettles really. I'll go and have a quick look in a minute and take some photos for you. There's another side to the bald as well, so it'd be rude not to read it out. The Motte is a very large earth mound which dominates the field, called Great Bury. The mound is known as Toot Hill, from the Old English meaning lookout hill. This mound was originally surrounded by a deep water-filled ditch or moat, which is still partly visible. A timber tower would have stood on top of the mound. The Bailey is the ditched enclosed area to the east of the Motte. It was originally surrounded by a defensive timber palisade on an earth bank formed by the upcast from the ditch. This bank and ditch also enclosed St Mary's Church and graveyard, which is over there. There is evidence that a second bailey existed to the west of the Motte, extending towards Bury End, but this is now largely destroyed. Together, the mound and bailey are all that remains of an earth and timber castle, probably constructed during the wars between King Stephen and Queen Matilda, AD 1139 to 1153. This was a period of great social and political unrest, known as the Anarchy. The castle at Purton was probably erected by a member of the Limsey family, who held the manor of Purton. The Motte and Bailey would have controlled the loop road off the Igneel Way, Wood Lane to Hambridge Way, which was the main route through the Chilterns. And there's another typical construction of a Norman Motte and Bailey castle. So you've got this wooden tower, the palisades and like watchtowers, and you can sort of see sort of it going through the mound, sort of the different levels of the tower. The church again, sort of they would have had like a cross, and sort of like a cookhouse, a weaving shed, the Knights Hall again. So that's probably where all the big banquets would have been and stuff. And yeah, that's sort of the construction of the Knights Hall, sort of what it would have looked like. You got the gatehouse of the castle. Sorry, just blurred out of focus. Would have looked something like that. So it's all reconstructions. And then there's another imaginary reconstruction of Purton Motte Bailey Castle and the village plan itself. So England had over 300 unlicensed castles by 1200, so sort of kind of like you turn up now and just build a house without planning permission and stuff, you know. So like, yeah, Henry II, he was a bit pissed off about that, so he just started pulling them down around 1300. But I don't know if that had climbed up these steps. And yeah, as you can see, there's not really a hell of a lot of stinging nettles, like Owen said. It'd be pretty cool though if you wild camped here. I mean, it wouldn't look like much, but you could say, you know, I've wild camped on a castle. You got caught though, you'd probably get seriously done, because like, you know, it's a historical monument. I wouldn't do it out of respect, really. Little track going off through here. I just think that goes down the other side around. There's a cat. The cat just staring at me. And then yeah, that drops off down the side of the, it's quite steep down there, goes all the way through there. I don't know where it goes out to though, but we're not going that way anyway. I think we're heading off past the church. So yeah, just thought I'd show you that anyway, but not a hell of a lot to see. You can see it, there's a mound of earth. Believe it or not, for me this was one of the highlights of the walk. If there's a castle, it's usually always in the top 2 or 3 highlights, it has to be. Anyways, might go and have a little look in the church if it's still open. Ooh. Yeah, it's got a distinct smell of churches. There's a lot of blue. That's the organ. So it's St Mary's Church. Yeah, it's sort of a lot plainer, probably. I think that means it's Protestant. If it's sort of plain in decoration, sort of the more colourful it is and stuff, it's usually Catholic, I think, anyway. Get in the comments if you know more than me about it. Some tombs on the floor. Yeah, you can see sort of it's had a lot of new builds and restoration work, and sort of these wooden galleries added in. There's the roof. Not as impressive as the one back in Lily. That was something else. That was a really nice church. There's the altar as well. Yeah. And there we are, back towards the nave and the chancel. We've smelt the pub before, we've even seen it. Nice smell of like home cooked food. Definitely stopping for a pint. Right, see you in a bit. Yeah, we're outside in the beer garden out the front of the Motte Bailey pub. And yeah, we've got some water filled up. I got myself an Old Moot cider, summer berries. Owen very kindly bought me. Cheers. Welcome, buddy. Yeah, I'm going to sit and enjoy them and then heading off. Ahead of us is the appropriately named Knocking Hoe National Nature Reserve. I found it quite amusing because I'm childish. Look at these hills. I think over there is the long barrow. We sort of saw what looked like some stones. Noise behind us is the cubs. The cubs are out on manoeuvres tonight. Other than that, it's really peaceful. Okay, we got a little bit lost, but we believe in front of us, in the centre of the screen, is Deacon Hill, where we're going to be camping for the night. And Owen's just informed me that we're now in Bedfordshire, so which is his home county. So yeah, sort of familiar territory. But yeah, we're losing light quite quick. we think that the Live and Let pub, where we're meant to be going past, is over there, along that road. All of this is private property, so we can't really cut through this to get to Deacon Hill. You've got to take kind of a long winding route to get to it. There's this footpath up here, but I think that one could lead to the pub over there. I can see some houses and stuff, so we might try that way. The pub's called Live and Let Live, which is pretty cool. It's a bit different. Anyways, right, we'll get back to you in a bit when we've found the right route. So yeah, we're outside the Live and Let pub, and we're ashamed to say we got lost and we caught up with the Cubs again, and their leader basically went, "Follow us, we're going to the pub," and he sort of kind of gave us that sort of look of like, "My bollocks are bigger than yours. You've had to admit defeat and get directions." I'm sure he wasn't. He's probably a decent bloke, but yeah, we're here. It was a little bit awkward having to walk behind him, hence why I didn't film, of course. So yeah, so this is the pub. It's a country inn. Nice smell of food cooking. Yeah, I reckon it's time for a quick drink. We're losing a lot of light fast, and then literally above the pub, middle of the screen, you can sort of see the beginning of like the ascent of Deacon Hill. So yeah, we'll stop in here and then we're heading straight up that to camp. Alright guys, we've lost light now. We just left the Live and Let Live pub, and we come out to this sign for the Pegston Hills. So it's within the Chilterns area of outstanding natural beauty, and it's also a site of special scientific interest, part of the Deacon Hill site. So it's like chalk grassland, there's wildflowers, all that sort of stuff again. So you might be able to see that in a torchlight. And yeah, so we're still aiming to head up to the hill, which you're not going to be able to see in the dark now. So yeah, views overlooking the surrounding countryside from the hill you'll have to wait for till morning, but I'll bring you back sort of when we're set up camp up the top there, okay? Right, we haven't set up yet. We got a little bit lost. It's really windy up here, but you can probably just make out through the torch if it picks it up, because it's so dark. We found the trig point here at Deacon Hill, sorry. Let's touch the trig point. Yes! Nice one, brilliant. Right, a few dips and stuff around here. All will become clear in the morning, but we've sort of seen the lights of like Purton and Pegston, all sort of the villages and stuff down below, and it looks pretty cool. But yeah, it's nearly 9 o'clock now, I think, so, and the wind's picked up a lot more up here. Yeah. Tom Outdoors does hill walking! Hello guys, welcome back. Right, we're on top of Deacon Hill and we've set up camp. Owen's just there, just cooking up some dinner on his Trangier. Have you got?
Yep, Trangier and Crusader 2 cookset.
So yeah, so I'm blinding you with the lights. He's got a Trangier and a Crusader 2 cookset, you say, yeah?
Yep.
I got my Vargo titanium wood stove. Just doing a boil in the bag, Wayfarer meal, beans and burgers. I'm yet to try that one. I've sort of made a crap windbreak with everything I've got. Hopefully the wind's not too bad up here for the camera. As you can see, I've got the Gillette Solo little one-man tent, and if I go round the guy lines, Owen's got his Banshee 200, so I know a lot of you are fans of these tents. They look absolutely banging, and yeah, there you go. So, and then our view is looking out across there. I'll switch the headlight off. Yeah, you can see sort of all the lights in the distance. I tell you what, we're going to have some great views in the morning. We've got more or less like a 360 degree view here. It looks absolutely brilliant. It's funny, but the wind actually seems like it's dying down over here. So yeah, anyways, switch the torch back on. Yeah, so that's the shelters, and yeah, we're going to do some food. We've got some alcoholic beverages. I'll just quickly show you mine, Andy from Kent Survival. If you're watching, cheers, mate. That is oh, hang on, get the light off of it. It's recorder lig, passion fruit cider. Cheers to that, mate. I said I'd do this one, so yeah, I'm going to crack that one out in a minute. We've also got, later on, we've got some cheeky marshmallows to toast. Yes, no camping trip's complete without marshmallows. And then chocolate pudding. That's my food bag, I've got loads in there. I've also got my solid fuel hexi wood stove over there. In case I've got problems boiling stuff, I've got my little OEX gas stove as well. And yeah, I sort of did like a little gear video sort of before this one, did it last night, so you'll probably see a lot of the gear from in there, but I'll show you a little bit when I get in the tent later as well. So yeah, it's a good little spot this, I'm looking forward to this one. So yeah, we're gonna have something to eat. Bon appetit. Right, the beans and burgers are cooked. It's got some diced potatoes in it as well, I think, and tomato sauce. Look at that, yummy. Right, let's have a whiz of this. Whoa. Hopefully it's not too hot. Here we go. It's not boiling hot. Lukewarm. Yeah, go on, let's have a look at yours. So you've got all day breakfast by Wayfarer as well. I can see some sausages lurking in there. Nice, that looked really, that sounded really, Paul! Let's try this out. Let's get a burger. It only looks like there's like 2 or 3 burgers in it. I'm just getting a lot of beans and potatoes at the moment. It does taste pretty banging though. Once again though, I think it's just because we've earned it that it tastes so good. Let's try a burger. Look at that. Killer. Right, let's try that. It's a bit like the meatballs and pasta one they do. They all sort of taste the same a bit. It could do with being a little bit warmer, but I don't care, I'm starving. You can eat these hot or cold anyway. I think this is going to be quite filling, this one. I would give this, I think I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. Oh, there's a big bit of potato. Hang on, let's try that first. Look at that, big diced bits of potato. Oh, that's hot. Oh. Oh. Yeah, it's really hot. That's obviously right at the bottom of the bag. So you get some really big square chunks of like potato in it, as well as the burgers and the beans. So it's instantly more filling. That bumps it up. I'm going to give that a 9 out of 10. I think that's really good. What's yours like?
I think mine's probably an 8 or a 9 out of 10 as well.
They're decent, aren't they? Yeah.
Nice.
They're quite heavy, but you know, you get plenty of calories in them. You know, I think the protein's pretty decent as well, and your carbs. And you know, they're easy to cook as well. And of course the water I've got from cooking that, I've got myself a Horlicks hot chocolate in there as well. So yeah, it's win-win. Yeah, I'm giving that a 9 out of 10 Wayfarer beans and burgers. Right, let's tuck in. Chat to you in a bit. Owen's got his raving glove on, and he promised me he'd crack this out. It was on his last camp video, so if you, I'm going to put a link to his channel, you got to check it out because it cracked me up. So it's just a glove for handling hot stuff, but he just went, I'm going to put on my raving glove now, and then put some like music over it, and it was quite entertaining. I thought I'm probably not going to be able to put music over this or find the right music, so it might not have the same benefit, but let's have a look at the glove. Absolutely brilliant. Go on, do your big fish, little fish.
Oh no, can't do that.
No, I just did it as well off camera.
I'll film you doing it if you like.
Look, I don't even know how the big fish, I think I can do it, I don't know, it's the box thing, isn't it? Anyway,
Yeah.
Right, we're just cooking up some more water for our chocolate puddings. We've both got a Wayfarer chocolate pudding. We'll probably have some cheeky marshmallows. We haven't even cracked open the booze yet. Still unopened.
Next on the list.
That is next on the list, and then the glove is definitely coming out. It's definitely coming out for the booze anyway. So yeah, we're doing these Wayfarer chocolate puddings there. The wind's picked up a little bit again. Oh, I think my Hexie stove has just fired into life. Right, get back to you in a bit. We've both just had our Wayfarer chocolate puddings each. Owen, you gave it a...
I'd say a 6. It was okay, but...
We weren't too sold on it. I don't know. I mean, I wolf mine down. I've had these before. I had them a long time ago. I don't know. I think I'd give it like a 7.5. It was really tasty. The sort of the sauce is a bit sort of gooey and sort of, it's not really like that runny, but my main criticism of it, there's not enough. Could have done with more. Yeah, that's what really loses it the points for me. But I mean, it was tasty. I mean, but then I don't know. Like I'm just hungry and just want some hot food, so I'd probably eat most things right now. But yeah, I thought it was pretty decent. Yeah, so not as good as our mains. We both concurred, but yeah, weren't too bad anyway. I think it is now time to crack out the alcohol. So, without further ado, yep, I've got this Recorderlig Premium Passion Fruit Cider from Andy, aka Kent Survival. Cheers, mate. I'm going to crack this open now. I have done a review of this before, so I can't remember what wild camp it was, quite a while ago, so I won't do a review now. I'll just crack it open. Alright? Cheers, mate. So yeah, cracked open our cider, and Owen's got a can of Foster's.
Cheers.
So yeah, cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Here's to a good wild camp, and cheers, Andy. Oh, tasty. It's lovely. Well earned. I think it was at one point we nearly threw in the towel earlier on and was like, no, let's just camp here. And I was like, no, let's push on, definitely. So it was well worth it. So yeah, well earned. Anyways, and cheers everyone for watching. Oh yeah, also thank you for getting me to 800 subscribers. That's absolutely banging. Cheers. So yeah, new subscribers, I hope you enjoy the channel and stuff, and yeah, this one's for you. Cheers. Alright guys, well, I'm in the Gillette Solo now. It's getting pretty nippy outside, wind's picking up a little bit, and yeah, it's just gone midnight now, so yeah, we're going to get some sleep, and I think we're getting up about sort of 6:30 tomorrow morning, to hopefully try and catch the sunrise if there's a decent one. We might have a little lay in really if it's quiet round, there's not too many people about that time of the morning, so see how it goes. Anyway, it's been really good so far, so yeah, see you in the morning. Right, good morning guys. It's about 6:30 in the morning, and Owen's still asleep. Sort of, it's light. I think the sun is rising behind me, so sort of over the brow of the hill. So I'm just got a little solid fuel stove out, just boiling up some water for a hot chocolate, and yeah, get up and go and have a look, hopefully see if we can see the sunrise. If not, probably go back to bed for a little bit. So yeah, we've got a really good spot here, and the views out over like the countryside are amazing. It looks a little bit cloudy and a little bit sort of misty first thing, but I'm sure that'll clear away, and yeah, there'll be some amazing views. Tent held up just fine, it's absolutely brilliant. So yeah, bring you back in a second. Okay, it's gone 7 AM now. Just cooking up this rice pudding with strawberries by Mountain House, and I've got myself a hot chocolate here. Owen's awake now. And yeah, we've awoke to some pretty spectacular views. No sunrise though, really. Sort of looks like, yeah, the sun will be coming up over there, so we'll keep an eye out. But yeah, this is our view. It's not bad at all. And we can sort of see where we walked from, like the pub, which is down there now. We can see we sort of walked across this field in the dark, through like the nature reserve, and then there was like this valley sort of down there, so it was like steep ground on all sides, sort of like rising above us, either side of us, and then there was a really steep section up the bank, and yeah, at the top of it were the Cub Scouts from earlier, and they'd made it all the way up there. I don't know if they summited or not, and then from there we just came towards like the camera, and then the tree point is just over there through the trees, you can see in the centre of the screen. But yeah, quite the adventure, rather nice. Just show you the tents. Might be a little bit windy up here. Yeah, it's my Gillette Solo, Owen with his Bango Banshee, and yeah, it's about, I think the thermometer said about 10 degrees. Let's have a look, see if it's changed now. This is Owen's. It's yeah, it's about 10 degrees Celsius or 50 degrees Fahrenheit. That always threw me. That always made it sound like it was really hot, but actually that's really cold. Yeah, so yes, the wind's sort of a little bit chilly, but it's worth it though for the view. I think today, I don't know which way we're going, but we'll be heading sort of, there's a section, sort of a path that sort of follows it downhill. It's quite a steep sort of downhill path somewhere. I don't know what side of the hill it's on though. And then we've got about, I think about a 3-mile walk or just less than that, back to the cars at the pub at Lily. So yeah. Right, well, it's nearly 8 o'clock and we've just sort of been hanging around here really. We haven't seen anyone else since that one bloke from earlier. And yeah, the sun's well and truly up now. It's a lot warmer. We've had some breakfast, taken a few photos, and yeah, it's been good. So I reckon we're gonna pack the tents away and yeah, head on down the hill. So I'll just leave you with this view behind me. That's not too bad. So yeah, next time you see us we'll be breaking camp and on the move. See you in a bit. Okay, as you can see, we're all packed up and we're ready to go. We've left no trace. We're taking our rubbish with us in a black bag, so it's always a good thing to carry one of them. And we picked up a little bit of other people's rubbish as well. Owen did, I think, yeah. So good. Right, heading downhill now. Deacon Hill lies within the Chiltern area of outstanding natural beauty and is designated as a site of special scientific interest. The site is very important for wildlife, particularly the chalk grasslands, which is very rich in wildflowers. The site is managed by grazing animals. Cattle and sheep eat the coarser plants, which allows the more delicate flowers to thrive. The Igneel Way, an ancient roadway dating back to pre-Roman times, runs along the edge of the site. It ran along the chalk escarpment between Ivinghoe Beacon and Nettishall Heath in Norfolk and was an important route for communication. It's now a recreational path which links the Ridgeway and the Peddersway National Trails. I didn't know that. At a height of 172 metres above sea level, the top of Deacon Hill gives fantastic views over Bedfordshire, the surrounding hills of the Chilterns and the village of Pegston. The steep slopes of Deacon Hill are rich in wildflowers, including many species now rare in Bedfordshire, such as wild candy tuft, horseshoe vetch and several species of orchid. Butterflies attracted to the flowers include chalk hill blue, brown argus and dingy skipper. There is also an abundance of bird life such as skylark, meadow pipit, little owl, and look out for red kite and buzzards soaring overhead. Okay, we're on the Igneel Way trail now, which is of course one of the, I think it's the oldest trackway in the country. And yeah, we haven't got far to go now on the walk, so it's time for the highlights. Owen, hit us with the highlights.
It's definitely got to be Knocking Hoe.
Oh yeah,
only for the name, but no, Deacon Hill was pretty spectacular.
Yeah, yeah, Deacon Hill I reckon's got to be the highlight, the wild camp really. I'm trying to think what else we saw earlier on in the walk really. I mean, the pubs were nice. They were alright really, they were good, but they weren't, I've been in better pubs, but they were still good. Trying to think what else we saw. The Jewish settlement, that was kosher. Should we edit that out? Cut. And yeah, no, I think it's got to be the wild camp and Deacon Hill, without doubt. That has got to be one of the best wild camps I've done. Purely for the views. The climb was pretty tough up the top because we're both sort of not really used to that sort of thing, but it was well worth it in the end. So yeah, that's got to be our highlight. Right, so we've got less than 3 miles to go to get back to the cars at Lily, and yeah, we're following this section of the Igneel Way for a little bit, so we'll bring you back in a little bit. We're back in the village of Lily and we've noticed these crests on all of these houses. So basically it's the Silver Lion, the crest of Colonel Sowerby, then owner of Putteridge Estate, and it adorns many of Lily's attractive houses. It's like these little red brick houses here. Yeah, here it is, so just zoom in, it's there. And yeah, that's the Silver Lion crest, as say, of Colonel Sowerby, then owner of Putteridge Estate. and we turn around this corner. There's the church, and back at the pub I can see the cars. Excellent. It's been another exciting little weekend adventure, that, and yeah, bring you back at the cars. Alright guys, that's the end of the walk, so cheers Owen for joining us on this one.
Yep, cheers.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you as well for watching at home. Let us know what you think, get in the comments and stuff. If you've not subscribed already, then please do. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Cheers for the support as always, and you'll see me in the next one. You might see Owen again as well, hopefully. Excellent. Right, cheers, see you later guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.